I'm going to be talking about 5 things that you need to stop doing if your fish keep dying. Sometimes you notice that your fish are dying and you keep wondering what the problem is. Now, these are 5 of the major things in addition to some other things that may cause your fish to be dying. First is when you change water too frequently or aggressively. So when I mean aggressively, you're changing water every day and you're removing the water completely. No, the rule is you change water maybe half of the tank and then you refill. You don't drain the water completely, you just do it half. Don't also pour cold water directly into the pond because it will kill the fish. Sudden temperature and pH changes stress your fish and may create problems for them. So the pH of the water coming in and the pH of the water that is there must be the same. Number 2, stop feeding when the water is dirty. Why? Because the pond is already smelling. The water there is already decaying the fish. So that water, whether it's brown or green or those ones, it's an indication that there's a problem with the water. And fish need clean water, especially if you're doing catfish. They need clean water. So you must make sure that green and brown water is not the main thing that you have. And you say, oh, if they're fish, they'll survive. No, they will not survive. They will die. Also, do not feed after rainfall because there are some chemicals from there that have entered. So you must wait. Let the water settle. Let it do it. So dirty water kills. Ammonia spikes because dirty water helps ammonia to develop, and then your fish begin to suffer, suffocate, and then have diseases. 3, stop buying cheap fingerlings. You see people say, oh, I have fingerlings or juveniles for sale at a very cheap and ridiculous price. These things have genetic things. They are genetically grown things, so they carry weaknesses, they carry strengths from their parents, they carry from wherever they were brought from, they carry from all those guys. So if you have weak stock, you have high mortality, you have slow growth, you have disease outbreak. So you must be sure where you're buying from. Either an accredited breeder or producer, hatcher, there are some, or a farm that you know has a history and they are doing hatching. 4thly, stop overcrowding your ponds. Most times people think that they want more fish so that they can make more money. No, if you put 1,000 fish in a small tarpaulin tank, that's already overcrowding. Secondly, in terms of overcrowding, don't mix the sizes. Big fish will eat the small fish. It always happens. Okay, always stop calculating your feed cost. I've always said this, that feed cost is important in your calculation. So your feed cost is important. Don't overstock. Don't, so that people come and they look at your fish and you say, oh wow, you have plenty fish. So overcrowding creates stress, and that stress also creates cannibalism and then disease and death, because overcrowding, just like even with human beings, overcrowding has its own issues. Then stop throwing chemicals into the pond. That's number 5 thing. People just think that, oh, my fish are sick. They go and get somebody, they go and bring something. Somebody tells you put salt in the water, so you go and bring a bag of salt and you pour inside your water. Or you go and find some of these funny secret formulas that they say, oh, this formula will make your fish grow exponentially. So you go and buy it. You don't know what those chemicals are. So you're pouring it into the water. It disrupts the water chemistry and burns your fish. If you're doing tilapia, it burns the gills of your fish. If you're doing catfish, it really creates problems for them. It creates poisons for them. So most ponds, I have found out, don't need drugs. What they need is clean water and proper feeding. That's the cure. That's the cure for your fish. So when your fish are dying, look at all these 5 things and then reassess them, rearrange them, and know whether you're doing them well. And I'm sure your fish will stop dying. Have a great fishing experience.